Have you ever noticed how she says, "I'm fine," but everything about her tells you otherwise? Have you ever felt a subtle shift in her energy and wondered, what just changed? Or noticed her teasing, pulling back, or asking small questions that seem almost meaningless, and yet they feel like a test? These are not random moments. They are signals, invisible, quiet, and powerful. When a woman's emotions start reacting to your presence, her tone, her energy, even her silence changes, something significant is happening. Most men miss it completely. They panic, they chase, they over-explain, they break the subtle balance that was already tipping in their favor. Here's the truth. The moment she begins responding emotionally to small, seemingly trivial actions, she's no longer deciding if she likes you. She's already invested. She's already attached. Your presence, your calm, grounded, confident presence is shaping her emotional world. And that, my friend, is a turning point most men never recognize. In this video, we'll explore the one critical shift that marks when she's already emotionally yours. You'll learn how to see it, understand it, and most importantly, how to maintain control without chasing or losing yourself in her reactions. By the end, you'll see why trying to control her feelings is pointless and why mastering your own stillness is the true power. So, let's begin with Section 1, the hidden signal, and uncover the subtle cues that most men overlook, cues that tell you she's already emotionally attached to you.
Section 1, the hidden signal. The moment she starts reacting emotionally to small things isn't random. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, but unmistakable once you learn to recognize it. A text left unanswered, a slight tease, a question that seems trivial. These are all signals. She's no longer observing you from a distance. She's responding to you. Most men panic at this point. They chase, they explain, they try to fix what isn't broken. But the truth is, she isn't upset with you. She's revealing her investment, her attachment, unconsciously showing you that your presence matters more than you think. Think about it. When she was indifferent, nothing you did affected her mood. But now, even the smallest action shifts her emotions. That shift is the silent loop where desire becomes attachment and where your calm, grounded energy begins to influence her feelings without effort. From a Stoic perspective, this is a lesson in observation and self-mastery. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Your role isn't to manipulate or chase. It's to remain centered, to allow her reactions to reveal her investment while you maintain your equilibrium. Watch for the patterns, a playful jab, a subtle pullback, a tone that hints at curiosity or tension. These are the markers of emotional resonance. Most men miss them because they focus on surface behaviors instead of the underlying psychology. By understanding these signals, you can step into a space of calm authority. You no longer react to her emotions, you allow them to occur around you unshaken. This is the first step in recognizing the emotional shift, the key moment where she's already emotionally invested. And that brings us to the next part, where we'll break down exactly what this shift looks like, why it happens, and how to leverage it without ever chasing her attention.
Section 2, why it happens. Have you ever noticed how she suddenly reacts to things that shouldn't matter? A playful jab, a cold pause, a subtle question that seems almost insignificant. These aren't random. Psychologically, women protect their emotions until they sense real value in a man. Until then, she stays neutral, analytical, and self-contained. The moment her feelings start moving in response to you, it's proof you've entered her emotional space. You're no longer just another presence. You've become the mirror she reacts to. This is the shift that most men completely miss. They chase, over-explain, or try to fix her mood, destroying the very dynamic that's already in their favor. From a Stoic perspective, this is where your power lies, not in controlling her,
but in being the calm center she responds to naturally. You don't own her emotions. You simply influence them by holding your presence, your focus, your grounded energy. The more steady you remain, the more of her reactions reveal attachment instead of indifference. Consider a small, realistic example. A man maintains calm and consistency, choosing not to reply to a late-night message because he's busy. Instead of panicking, he remains grounded. The next morning, she texts, showing subtle concern, maybe even regret. She's reacting, not to what he said, but to his presence and absence. That's the power of entering her emotional world without chasing. Understanding why it happens sets the stage for the next step. In the next section, we'll explore how to leverage this emotional shift to deepen attraction, maintaining your calm while letting her reactions naturally strengthen her connection to you.
Section 3. The silent impact loop. When a woman begins to react emotionally to things that should not bother her, it's not random. This is the moment your presence starts to influence her feelings without any effort. The subtle shift from calm observation to emotional engagement marks what we call the silent impact loop. Imagine this. A man spends his evening grounded and consistent. He doesn't chase or over-explain. The next morning, he doesn't reply immediately to a message, not as a tactic, just because he's busy. She texts back with a hint of irritation. "Guess I'm not that important anymore. It's fine, do you?" He responds calmly, "Was tied up with something. You good?" Immediately, her tone softens, she acknowledges her overreaction, and her mind starts to reconsider. It wasn't what he said, it was what he didn't need to say. Notice how her mood is shaped subtly by your presence. Your calm, centered energy becomes a mirror she reacts to, drawing her emotions into your orbit without manipulation. This is the essence of attachment through restraint. Stoic insight: you don't own her emotions. You simply became the mirror she reacts to. By mastering your own emotional state, you create gravity. Her responses reveal her investment, and you maintain control by staying grounded rather than chasing her attention. Observe the nuances. Playful jabs, minor coldness, or subtle questions. These are signals that your influence has entered her psychological space. Every pause, every calm reply, every moment of presence shapes the connection, reinforcing attachment through emotional resonance rather than effort. This naturally flows into the next section, where we explore how to channel this awareness into deliberate contrast, creating intrigue and deepening her emotional investment while you remain unshakable.
Section 4. What most men do wrong. One of the biggest mistakes men make when a woman starts showing subtle emotional shifts is trying to fix it. They over-explain, reassure, or chase her attention, believing that smoothing over her feelings will maintain attraction. What they don't realize is that in doing so, they surrender their own emotional center. They lose the stability that originally drew her in. When you step out of your calm presence to chase her validation, you disrupt the natural balance. Her reactions are no longer a reflection of your influence, they become a reflection of your neediness. The Stoics teach us, you cannot calm a storm by entering it. You calm it by being the shore. Your steadiness is the anchor, not your words, not your attempts to adjust or explain. By staying grounded, you allow her emotions to surface without interference. Let her express frustration, subtle teasing, or even detachment. These are not problems, but signals. Observing without reacting, without defending, without trying to correct, communicates confidence and presence far more than any argument or explanation could. The power lies in choosing to remain unaffected. Your calmness and composure act as the gravitational force in the interaction, drawing her toward your stability rather than pushing her away. She begins to measure her feelings against your energy, not against what she can extract from you. This approach naturally leads into the next section,
where we will explore how to engage with these emotional shifts in a way that strengthens her attachment while keeping your own energy intact. By mastering your presence here, you transform her subtle emotional signals into a powerful connection that flows from your composure rather than your effort.
Section 5. How to respond with power. Responding with power is not about arguing or defending. It is about observing and holding your own center. When she tests your calm with subtle comments or emotional shifts, your instinct might be to explain, to justify, or to chase. But these reactions only dilute your presence and hand over control of your energy. Instead, notice the effect of measured, grounded responses. A simple phrase, delivered slowly and genuinely, "You don't usually get like this. Something bothering you?" does more than words of reassurance ever could. It invites her to reveal her emotions while preserving your stability. She lowers her defenses because you are not reacting to her storm. You are the steady shore she unconsciously leans on. The power lies in restraint. By maintaining composure, you become a subtle anchor, and her emotional responses begin to orbit your calm rather than dictate it. This is the essence of Stoic influence. You do not control her feelings, you simply master your own. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Consider a man who notices a partner's teasing or withdrawal and pauses instead of chasing. He reflects internally, maintains his energy, and responds with curiosity rather than judgment. Instantly, her tone softens, she engages authentically, and the magnetic tension deepens. Your grounded presence communicates more than words ever could. Every measured pause, every neutral response, every choice to stay centered reinforces attraction. This is not manipulation, it is creating emotional resonance through self-mastery. Here, power is silent, deliberate, and irresistibly magnetic. Section 6. The Stoic Secret. Control through stillness. True influence doesn't come from words, explanations, or chasing after her reactions. It comes from stillness, from being grounded, from mastering your presence so fully that your energy shapes the space around you without effort. Notice how, when you stop reacting to every comment or subtle jab, her mind begins to track you instead of the conversation. Her emotions follow your calm, not your explanations. You've entered her nervous system simply by choosing not to be pulled off-center. Imagine a woman texting you with a slight edge, testing, wondering. Most men would scramble, apologize, over-explain, or chase. But the Stoic man simply notices, breathes, and responds with measured calm. Sometimes a simple neutral, "You good?" is enough to reset the energy. She's not reacting to your words, she's reacting to the stability you radiate. Stoic insight. True influence isn't about controlling her feelings, it's about mastering your stillness. When your energy is unshakable, her attachment deepens without a single manipulative move. Your calm becomes the anchor in her shifting emotional tides. Remember, you already have her, but only if you don't lose yourself in the process. Hold your center. Honor your boundaries. Let your presence speak louder than any attempt to explain, justify, or chase. In stillness, you create gravity. In gravity, desire grows. Final reminder, be her calm, not her chaos. You don't need to chase her emotions. You don't need to react to every subtle shift, every playful jab, or every moment of tension. True influence doesn't come from effort or explanation. It comes from presence. When you remain grounded, composed, and centered, your calm becomes the anchor she instinctively leans on. Notice this. She's not responding to your words, your gestures, or even your attention. She's responding to the energy you embody. Each choice to stay still, each refusal to over-explain or overreact reinforces your presence without effort. This is the quiet power that draws her in, creating attachment and intrigue without manipulation. Ask yourself, are you reacting to her moods or mastering your own? Every pause, every measured silence, every moment you protect your peace strengthens the emotional gravity around you. She notices the contrast, a man who could be pulled into chaos, but remains unshakable. A man whose energy is steady, confident, and emotionally unavailable in the way that matters most. Available only in his presence, not in his chase. Remember, the goal isn't to control her feelings, it's to command your own, to create a space where she feels secure, intrigued, and irresistibly drawn to the calm you embody. She'll never be addicted to a man who chases, argues, or explains. She's addicted to the one who stands firm in himself. Thank you for watching Stoic Wisdom today. If you seek the Stoic path to presence, attraction, and peace, like, share, comment, subscribe, and continue mastering the art of emotional influence, grounded confidence, and silent authority. Until next time, stay grounded, stay calm, stay stoic.